With ongoing industrial action in the transport sector currently underway in the run-up to the World Cup, recent reports point to a looming strike in the energy sector with the world's biggest sporting event a mere 3 weeks away. Joining us to discuss this is Cosatu spokesperson Patrick Craven. Mr. Craven, what's Cosatu's take on striking during the World Cup?
First of all, any industrial action at any time is not embarked upon lightly. It's a last resort that workers take when it's been impossible to resolve disputes and grievances through the process of negotiation. Secondly, the timing of strikes is determined mainly by the negotiating process, and in particular the employers, whether they will or will not come up with new proposals. Absolutely nothing to do with the World Cup. Of course, trade unions want to see a successful World Cup. We're the strongest supporters of the World Cup. But you cannot have a situation where workers say in advance that for a period of 1 month they will suspend their constitutional right to take action into support of a justified demand if it has been impossible to resolve those by any other means.
That being said, Mr. Craven, do you think that it would be wise to undergo any industrial action during the World Cup? Many people saying that unions could never win a strike in the face of overwhelming anger that would happen.
If there's overwhelming anger, that should be channeled at least equally, and we would say more so, at the employers who were not prepared at the time of the World Cup to come back to the negotiating table and negotiate. You cannot expect the workers simply to back down, so the employers can then get away with imposing agreements which otherwise would have been rejected.
What do you think the likelihood is that a strike will take place during the World Cup?
It's impossible to predict. Obviously, we hope that all the current disputes will be settled well before the World Cup. But as I keep saying, that is as much in the hands of the employers as it is with the workers. They must come to the negotiating table and bargain seriously with the union representatives and do everything they can to reach a settlement.
In essence, Cosatu doesn't want to see a strike during the World Cup, but if conditions allow and if all alternatives have been exhausted, there will be? We're
not saying there will be, but what we're saying is you cannot suspend your constitutional rights simply because of a sporting event if other circumstances make it unavoidable that you have to take this extreme action.
That's Patrick Craven, Cosatu spokesperson on possible industrial action during the FIFA 2010 World Cup.